Hey there! Welcome to another fine episode of The Leah Show. Today I will be talking to you about something that's been bugging me for quite a while, to be honest. Unnamed, this man right here. I'm sure most of you know who this is. This is Mr. L from, yes, most of you know it. If you don't, lucky you, Death Note. Now you say, when I say lucky you, I mean lucky you as in, you're not a dork! Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I haven't read or seen this, and I'm not going to pretend that I am not a complete and utterly helpless L fan. But what does bug me is that nobody seems to think that some of his odd little quirks may actually be, I don't know, symptoms of some kind of psychological disorder, except for, all his little loneness and in the dark and all etc. etc. Nobody seems to look at the simple, very obvious things that he does, such as biting at his thumb. And then there is the sugar and the snippy sarcasm at random times that doesn't sound like sarcasm because he's such a weirdo. And you know what? I think I know what's going on here, and I'm going to sum this up in 2 words. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Oral fixation. Yes, you heard me. Oral fixation. I believe that Mr. L, however the crap you pronounce his name, has an oral fixation. And I understand this because I personally have very prominent oral fixation, probably just about as prominent as his, and I've done some research on it, and he just seems to fit the bill so perfectly. It's I mean, I'm sure millions of people around the world, millions of L fans, non-L fans, people who just happen to see that guy and say, hey, he's got an oral fixation. But I'm just tired of people not coming out and saying, that guy has an oral fixation, and I'm going to admit it for him. And that is exactly what I am doing right here. Now, first off, let's get to some symptoms that he seems to regularly display. Now, we're already seeing this picture of him nibbling at his thumb. That is an example of a need for constant oral stimulation. Here we see him licking his lips. That seems to be another symptom. I do that a lot. That apparently does happen a lot in orally fixated people. Biting at things. I do that biting and ripping thing too, except I do it to rubber ducks. Let's see, overindulging in sweets. That is another symptom. And actually, that is a real symptom, believe it or not. Sweets, specifically. And then there's just eating a lot in general. How many scenes are there, actually, where he isn't eating? He's like, let's eat a lot of sugar. Let's just keep eating. Let's never, ever stop, because it's fun like that. And then, of course, there is... Do you ever listen to this guy talk? I mean, all the hidden sarcasm. It drives me nuts. I mean, it's here, look. Take a look at this. Just listen to this guy.
If you don't get serious about this, I'll kick you.
That's your name, isn't it? The white thing over there?
I would never dream about living in a world without light.
Yes, that would be dark.
And that, my friends, is what we call the biting personality, which is associated with those orally fixated. I am not entirely sure how that comes about, but it's been in everything I've ever researched, to be honest, so I'm just gonna kind of go with that. So, yeah, there. The fact that he does this all through the series, I'm not sure how long it happened, how long it's been going on when it first started. Well, according to this Mr. German Freud man, you're orally fixated during the oral stage of your childhood. But you know what? We don't know anything about that. For all we know, he could have been, hit in the face with a tennis ball or something, he likes playing tennis. And it could have happened that way. I don't know. I don't even think whoever the crap made this knows. All I know is he has an oral fixation. I said it. I'm proud of my oral fixation. Not really, it makes me chew on things, it's kind of strange. And you know what, I think Elle was probably proud of his oral fixation. Or at least he didn't really care, because I don't think many people were actually paying that much attention. Not when he's got the funny hair and the clothes and he's sitting like a person who sits strangely. And it's just all of that, you know? I'm so glad I got that off my chest, you know? It feels good. Thanks, Elle.